Hi everybody, I'm here with Congressman Khanna.
Hey guys.
Representative of the 16th Congressional District in California, which happens to be my hometown of Fremont, California.
I love it. You went to American high school
I
too.
did, class of '89,
I
American
drive by that
high school.
almost every day.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, what brings you to Las Vegas, first of all?
We're doing a big town hall today in Canyon Springs High School, 7 p.m. on cost of living and immigration. How do we get costs down here? Cost of healthcare, cost of childcare, cost of rent, cost of groceries, and how do we stand up for immigrant rights? Hundreds of people are coming. I hope folks will come, 7 p.m., Canyon Springs High School.
Beautiful. I'm going to be there. I know a lot of my followers are going to be there as well. I posted about it yesterday. So that brings me to my first question though. During the pandemic, I worked in leadership here on the Las Vegas Strip. Now, a lot of us came back, a lot of my workers came back, even though they were scared. It was still very early in the pandemic and things were very uncertain still. But they came back because they love the city and they love their jobs. Those same workers now, though, I see being laid off. I see them having issues making their rent and finding affordable housing. And even worse, a lot of them are being harassed and round up by ICE.
Yeah.
What is the plan to address these issues when we
Well,
get...
it's unconscionable. I was going back and forth arguing on Twitter of all places with Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller is Trump's architect of this mass deportation. And what I said is, if someone is here, if they're working hard, if they're paying taxes, if they are abiding by all the laws, there should be legal status for them. There should be a path to citizenship, but we should agree on legal status. They are hurting this economy. They are hurting our economy here, first by the tariffs that they've put on Canada and Mexico. I just met President Sheinbaum 3 days ago, and she complained about two things: the way they're treating Mexican immigrants here and the tariffs. So by the tariffs, they're hurting tourism here, they're hurting the business here, and then they are making people afraid to work. It's crippling the economy for everyone, and that's why the economic numbers have been going down. So standing up for immigrant rights, standing up for rational, fair trade, and against these blanket tariffs is good for every American.
True, and that also brings me to another point. Last week, my congressional representative, Stephen Horsford, tried to visit the ICE detention facility that's out in Pahrump, Nevada. It's in Nye County. He was turned away by the warden, and not only was he turned away, but he was threatened to have the Nye County sheriff called on him. It is your congressional right to oversee these facilities.
It absolutely is our right to oversee these facilities, and they are arresting people, they are harassing folks who are just doing their oversight functions. But more than oversight, the Democrats need to stand for immigration being good. I mean, I voted against the Lake and Riley Act. Too many people in our party voted for Lake and Riley, which basically was deportation without due process. We have failed to deliver every time we're in power anything on this immigration issue. We give lip service, path to citizenship. Nothing happens. At least let's make sure we get legalization next time. At least let's make sure we deliver something next time. But people are sick of the rhetoric, and they're tired of Democrats who are so afraid of saying that immigrants make a contribution to this country, that we're going to stand for what immigrants do to improve our community. I'm the son of immigrants. It's personal for me.
As a progressive myself, it's one of the reasons you really speak to me. But we definitely have a problem in this Congress with party leadership. How are we going to address the progressive voters moving into the midterm? The people like me who are dissatisfied with the leadership we are seeing.
The old ways, the old thinking is not working. The old idea, we can't have more of the same old, same old, same old. We need a new generation. We need people who are willing to fight for progressive values, Medicare for all, $10 of child care a day, free public college, 1,000 trade schools, making sure that we're taxing wealth, to have a real economic vision. I call it a new economic patriotism, stopping Wall Street from buying single-family homes. And we need people who are going to offer a vision for this country and be willing to stand up and fight for the working and middle class.
So, speaking of fighting for the working and middle class, Trump pushed through that big, beautiful bill, so-called, that he hung his entire presidency on, which is only just tax cuts for the rich. That cuts SNAP and Medicaid. Nevada is suffering some of the highest unemployments of the country. This is going to devastate this state. What are we going to do when the Democrats regain power in the midterms? How are we going to offset the damage that's already been done?
We need to repeal the bill. Repeal the bill should be the mantra. And that bill basically takes the money away from the working class and the middle class and gives it to the wealthy. It's giving tax breaks to people in Silicon Valley, where you grew up. There are 5 companies in Silicon Valley that are over $1 trillion. Apple, Google, Tesla, Nvidia, Broadcom. They don't need the tax breaks. The billionaires don't need the tax breaks. And to give those tax breaks, they're taking away Medicaid from working families, from someone who works on the strip. They're losing their health care. They're losing their food assistance. I mean, it is unconscionable what they're doing.
Thank you, Representative Khanna.
Thank you.
And thank you for everything you're doing and speaking out for the little man and speaking out for the progressive, giving the progressives a voice in Congress.
We need a living wage. We need Medicare for all, child care $10 a day, tax on the wealthy, ban Wall Street for buying single-family homes. We need a true economic agenda for the working and middle class. And if we do that, we're going to take back this country.
That's awesome. Thank you, Representative. Come out and see him at Canyon Springs High School Sunday, August 3rd, right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you,
This evening.
Congressman.
All right.